Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Anvil Wealth Podcast. Today, we're on the campus of Long Beach State University with the men's volleyball team. They're currently ranked number 1. Dane Hillis, Aiden KNipe, Mason Briggs, all players on the team, had a wonderful weekend. We're going to start with that because I know everybody wants to know how they felt. Can you guys share with us? You had 2 sellouts in a row here at Long Beach State. Tell us what it's like. None of us are on the court. What's it like when you guys are playing out there? How amazing is it?
You want to start us off here?
Yeah. I actually talked earlier this week about this experience that I'll share right now. One, I'll just start off by saying it's cool, it's crazy, it's like everything you could dream of. We always talk about as a team, and head coach Coach KNipe always says like no one grew up hoping to play in a high school gym in front of like 100 people, right? Yeah. You want that atmosphere, and so something I talked about earlier this week was being in Hawaii in front of, sometimes 10,000 fans, and how you can't really hear. It was 2 years ago, I believe, Big West Championship, or maybe it was regular season. Anyways, we're over in Hawaii, we're playing, and I couldn't hear anything. That was the first experience of that. Like, you're literally on the court and you can't hear the people that are next to you, or even like this far away. Amazing. And so to bring that back to this weekend, that was one of my core memories, because I had that same exact feeling, like, wow, I can't hear anything, and it's just noise. You can't even hear like what they're really saying sometimes. Right. It's just noise, which is pretty cool. So that feeling alone was something that was extra cool, because it was a little bit of a flashback to like 2 years ago, and then felt that this weekend. So for me, that was unreal, and hopefully we can continue to have some plays like that going forward.
Aiden, and now as a setter, you have to call your plays out every time. So is it all mostly hand signals and lip syncing?
I was just about to say. So we have base calls, and then I call middle routes and I call big routes before the play starts, just with hand signals. Right. But then I let my pin guys upgrade. Like, they can change their call after the pass, after we can kind of see where we're at. Okay. But it kind of came back to bite me a little bit this weekend, because there were a couple miscues because I couldn't hear them upgrading. Yeah. Okay. And like, Sotos did a good job of getting the ball passed when I didn't hear him. I mean, he was running a faster route than I was setting. But I would rather play in that environment and deal with that.
Heck yeah.
I'll add to that, because there was one time during the match, and we even talked about this morning at film, where Sotos called out of a certain set. Right. And I thought live time I should relay that, but I didn't, because I didn't want to
mess
get
it
in
up,
between, you know? And then after the play, it was exactly that happened. He couldn't hear him, and I had a feeling that he couldn't hear him. But I heard from Sotos to me, and I was like, should I pass it to Aiden?
You don't want to give him too much information.
But I didn't want to,
too many guys.
I didn't want to mess them up, and maybe Aiden did hear. Right. But I was about to be like, fast. Yeah. Something that Sotos called, but I didn't step in.
Wow. Well, that's pretty exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. I was in Alabama watching on ESPN Plus, and it was amazing coverage, and you guys were it was all about grit. And I know that term gets used a lot, but I don't know if you guys know this, but I remember when Ellen started using that word grit. Now you hear it all over the place. Yeah. But I don't remember any pro-level team using that word before Long Beach did. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember the exact year, but I think it was right around 12 or 13, around that time. Anyway, so we'll move into talking about some of your future goals. So first of all, goals with volleyball. Like, what are your guys' plans? I mean, currently you're a sophomore. Yep. You're a sophomore. Dane's a sophomore. Senior, right? Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, athletically, I'm obviously a little younger than these guys, so I have some more time to compete here at Long Beach State. Right. And I'm just really looking forward to getting on the court here. Yeah. Kind of showing Division I level that I think I can play and deserve to be here. And I'm really happy to do that here. And if I can't do that here, I know that this is the right place for me to be to play after college as well.
Now, do you play on the beach too?
I do. I play a lot of beach volleyball. I grew up in San Clemente. Okay. We're kind of a beach town for sure. So I really started playing more beach volleyball than indoor volleyball, and I want to continue that as much as I can. Yeah. Good.
And Aiden, how about you?
It's been weird. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago. It was 2019, and me and Mason were both freshmen.
Right.
We were in the dorms, and it's just weird. It's time flies. And there's 6 weeks left of my senior year. But I mean, plans after college. I want to see out volleyball as long as I can. I'm not sure where that takes me, but as many years as I have, I'm not going to be one of those marathon guys pushing 40 and still playing volleyball.
Right.
Like I don't think I have that in me.
Yeah. Well, he is.
Yeah.
Right? Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
Right,
you know, everyone's waiting to hear what Mason's going to do.
I want to take it as long as I can.
That's awesome. Good.
Yeah, my goal the main goal for me has always been professional and Olympics. That's like kind of after college. Before that, obviously the goal is to play D1 and with that win a national championship. So we're working on that this year.
Good.
But yeah, after college, pro and hopefully the Olympics. Well, a lot of people, I guess, for those listening to, what a lot of people don't understand, talking about this, I've realized is they go hand in hand in a way. It's not like you're picking one or the other. People ask sometimes like, oh, are you going to play for the national team? Or, oh, are you going to play professionally? As if you can't do both of those. Right. So the easiest way to describe it is that it just follows college volleyball season. Right. It's like August to end of April, May, and then summers you're with like your national team. Okay. So for me, that's the goal. You go play professionally, get better, have that experience, come back, and compete on your national team, and just keep grinding.
Awesome. Excellent. A couple of things I'd like to ask you, because Anvil Wealth is we're a financial firm. We help people grow their money. And so these young men, I've been working with them on some of my financial boot camp stuff to teach them about money being a tool and how you use it to develop your wealth. And they've been wonderful students. They've taught me a lot of things too. I'm learning all kinds of stuff. But what are some of your guys' financial goals? Dane, you can start. Things, again, this would be after college, not quite yet because you have school and commitments to volleyball, but what are things that you foresee down the road that you want to develop on financially?
Absolutely. I think being in my position at Long Beach State, close to home, being a native to the United States, we have obviously so many international guys here. I'm able to work and start making money and investing it properly at such a young age that I'm at quite an advantage, and I definitely want to keep that advantage for the rest of my life. I mean, I would love to continue rolling over the success and the opportunities that have been given to me into a home, into a real estate portfolio, just getting as much financial literature and knowledge as I possibly can.
Okay, good. And then we're going to ask Dane a little bit later, and he's going to expand on some of the stuff he does off the court when we talk about the volleyball tournament later. So, Aiden, what about your financial goals? You and I have worked closely on a couple of things. I know, obviously, real estate's the number one thing because he's getting his real estate license, but open up on that stuff now after college. What are you thinking?
Well, it's been good working with you. Like you've helped push me in the right direction with kind of understanding what I want to do and then executing on it as well. So started with a good Roth IRA fund and a mutual fund. So I have those going for me. Right. I've had those going for a while now. And then ideally after college, I take basically all the money that I make and invest it back into real estate and start building a portfolio there somewhere in the like south or southeast U.S. Yeah. So I know we've been looking at states like South Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee, Georgia. So somewhere in that area, I'd like to build a small portfolio and kind of continue to capitalize from there. The real estate, I don't really plan on practicing real estate, but it's more, the license is just for my understanding of like working on the back end, So
yeah, I have my real estate license in Tennessee and California, but I'm not an agent because I'm an investor. But I do like to coach people, teach them, and I got to know what I'm talking about. So it's important for me, of course. And then Mason, you have all kinds of fun businesses going on, and you've actually taught me some things. So share with us some of your goals. You have a different set of goals.
I have a lot of goals. I have a lot of ideas. It's more so just like, what do I want to focus on right now?
What are your current, tell us what you have currently going on.
Exactly. So right now, this past year, I've even put some of the other things I've been working on pause just because of like the timing, timing's everything. Right. And I've kind of worked on like my personal brands, like the logo and stuff that I've been working on, some merch, some clinics, some working towards making things available online and carrying that into my pro career so that I can still, reach all these people. Yeah. Basically, when I talk about this, it's pretty simple. If you think about it, what I took is like questions that I got daily and over time of like, I continually get this question, whether it's, do you do training? Right. Or can you sign this? Or do you have a jersey or merch or something? So I really just took what the demand was, what the people wanted, and tried to offer that. So I came out with like little trading cards, trying to expand that into the sport and maybe even some things that you guys will talk about later. Yeah. And then same thing with the merch. And I'm a big believer in like growing the game, but not just saying like grow the game. Right. It's like how do we grow the game? Right. And to me, that was like merch, trading cards, things like that. Because especially all of us from SoCal, like Dodgers, for example.
Right.
It's like you get a Dodgers jersey for Christmas, or you get that baseball card for Christmas.
It means
now you have like all these volleyball fans, these people that love the sport, and even like little kids that love the sport. Why are they getting a baseball card or a Dodgers jersey, and they should be getting a Long Beach jersey or a volleyball jersey? So that was kind of like where all of that came from. And then same thing as Aiden said too, that's kind of always been just the goal in the back of my head. Go play overseas. My cousin did actually something similar. Use that money, start with real estate, build your portfolio there. And then I love just the entrepreneurial aspect, whether it's like little investments here or there, or business opportunities that come my way, or even brand deals. And
so currently,
social media
let's get this understood. You have Mason, you have camps and clinics that you run, you have the merchandise, you have the trading cards, and then you also do social media promotion, and people hire you for selling the products. Is that right?
Yeah. So I mean, these guys got in on it a little bit.
Mason Briggs Discord.
What?
Mason Briggs Discord?
Mason Briggs Discord. That's kind of, I'm trying to build out a way to keep these fans like together or in one place, or have even just a place for all of them to talk, amongst each other. Dane and I mean, we live in the same house, so like we've talked about all these things. We call it like the think tank, and that was one of the ideas that we're trying to put together, is like maybe a Discord that has certain tiers that you get access to certain things. And that would kind of be the online way to do it. I'm even talking to my brother about some people that are interested in maybe even a facility that we can kind of just like, I work with people online, he works with people in person, and it's kind of just like a big parlay. You work here, you work there, and that way they can do the online stuff and the in-person stuff. So all of it's interesting to me. I'm open in a way where it's like, if something
there's going to be new things coming.
Exactly.
I can tell.
I'm like very open, but also very like when it comes to brand deals and stuff, I'm very specific, and like I'll only work with not a couple, but timing is everything, and the actual brand. I don't want to just support something that I don't fully believe in or see as like an actual partnership.
Right. Well, those are all awesome answers. Let's move into part 2. Let's move in. Did I forget one?
No,
I was pointing to this.
Oh, no. And that's one of the brands.
Deal in the flesh.
Yeah, you can put it up there.
Stuff.
Show everyone. Tell us about it. Tell us
Oh,
about
it's
it.
ready.
Yeah,
Ready. Okay, it's a sports drink. But it's also like you see their Instagram handle. It's Ready Nutrition. So they offer, which I love this about them. They offer a sports drink, a protein water over here. They have cotton candy grape flavor. You guys just tried it earlier.
Yeah, good.
And so it's like a wide variety. They have protein powder. They have protein bars. And so for me, on like an influencer end, it's going to be really fun to promote them because there's a variety. It's not just like one thing, and it doesn't get boring. But I guess we could start by saying Giannis Antetokounmpo and Aaron Donald are co-founders of the company, which is pretty cool. Aaron Donald just retired.
Retired from the Rams.
Might be working on this more. I'm not really sure, but to be working technically under them is pretty cool.
That's pretty
and to see the success, you just read about the company, and they talk a lot about the success, or like the underdog story, or just kind of the consistency. And they even just sent me like a card with a little welcome package, and it talks about similar things we talk about at Long Beach. The whole like event plus response equals outcome. That's like big here. They have like their own little version of that. So actually, long story short, they reached out over a year ago, but then they kind of flipped their marketing plan, and they went into more of community aspect, community outreach type of stuff. And then they circled back a year later and said, hey, like, we see that you still follow the brand. Like, I still kind of posted some of their things that I thought were inspirational. And it was like still a match, kind of what I was talking about earlier. Just like the loyalty to a brand and something that I actually like, not just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, being selective.
For no reason, you know what I mean?
And I can that's one of the things I would say, and I tell people with the business advice that I give, I mentor CEOs and other people, and I tell them, be selective, be choosy, because you'll get way more value out of being choosy than just taking anything that comes your way. I mean, it seems common sense, but sometimes you need someone to kind of reinforce what you believe, and I think that's awesome. I think you guys are all on a good track. So let's move to part 2 now. One of the big reason for the podcast is we're promoting this grass tournament for Dane and Aiden
Yep.
are
Just tiny
promoting this. So this is called the OC Crown, and these young men are doing something that no one's ever really done, and especially not their age. People my age still haven't done this, but I'm going to let you guys do a lot of talking here. So the first thing, Dane, what is this? What's this tournament? Tell us about it.
So the Orange County Crown is the third year of the biggest grass volleyball tournament on the West Coast. The last 2 years it was held in Huntington Beach, and they were very successful, very competitive. But Aiden and I were brought on to, number one, bring it to the greatest volleyball venue in the United States, and that's the Long Beach Pyramid.
Long Beach!
Yeah, go Beach.
We're going to be right outside the pyramid in the grass, and we're going to have multiple divisions, a ton going on. It's going to be more than just a volleyball tournament. I mean, it's going to be great for the players. It's going to be great for the spectators. There's going to be a lot of volleyball and non-volleyball things going on to just really make it an all-around volleyball festival. And we're really excited to have that here on campus.
It's also going to be good for the sponsors. So
That's right.
People think about sponsoring. I am actually a sponsor with them. I'm already in there with Anvil Wealth, but there's going to be some wonderful sponsor opportunities. So get in touch with them. We'll give you the information at the end here. So the next question, well, where is it? You answered that. It's actually on the grass courts right behind the pyramid here in Long Beach. How many courts are we looking at?
Well, I mean, we're looking to have up to 160 teams on the weekend. That's across divisions, though. So we could be outfitted anywhere between like 51 to 60 courts, roughly.
That's a lot.
And if registration goes all well and or better than we expect even, then we have a backup field that we can rent. So the field runs in between the training room and the pyramid, like our main training room.
Right.
And then there's a baseball field right there, and we can rent that outfield as well.
Oh, good.
So we can kind of spill onto that outfield if need be.
That's pretty awesome.
And that's an additional 22 courts.
Wow. Okay.
And then you have the sand. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
this.
we have the sand courts as well that we're going to be looking to bring on some AVP names, and we're going to be hosting a pro level showcase tournament, kind of like what they had at Newport.
These are some top level volleyball players.
Yeah.
We're bringing some AVP champs, maybe some retired pros, some big names, some people that you want to come watch.
Okay.
And it's going to be invite only.
Yeah, that one's
That's invite only.
But there's going to be 12 four-man teams. It's going to be the best beach volleyball you can watch, especially four-man. You don't get to see that often. I know a lot of people love to play four-man.
Yep.
So to see these great players play the version of beach that we all love to play on the weekends, it's going to be really fun, really competitive.
Something different.
Something different, yeah. You don't see that on the AVP, and we're really happy to have that here.
There was a four-man league way back when, about 20 years ago, and Aiden's dad, Alan, actually played on it, and I remember watching it, and it was on, I can't remember if it was on ESPN or something, but it was pretty fun stuff. But
the Bud Light four-man.
The Bud Light four-man, yeah. It was pretty fun
with
stuff.
Alan Knipe.
Now, question, since this is a Long Beach State location with Long Beach State guys, does that mean only Long Beach State players are there, or are we talking all kinds of good college players?
Absolutely not. So we're already in contact with many universities. I mean, men's volleyball in general is such a tightly knit group. There's no doubt that there's going to be guys from every program: Big West, MPSF, East Coast, Hawaii. Hopefully, I'm really excited to get in touch with these guys and give them some opportunities to, not only play the most competitive games that you can see in the summer, but also there's a $13,000 prize pool. And for a lot of college kids, especially with NIL now, we're going to figure out a way to make sure that they know that they're getting compensated for, winning a big tournament like this.
Yeah.
You said your first team that registered was from
so we have two teams that registered. Our first two teams are actually from Nevada and
We have
Oregon.
more teams now.
Yeah,
More
this
teams
was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's an international event.
Wow.
I mean, at least USA. We're hoping to get everyone involved.
So these are, without saying names, these are going to be guys that play at the big schools: USC, UCLA, Pepperdine, UC Irvine, BYU, Hawaii, all the big schools.
We want it to
you
be
know all these guys, right?
Yeah.
We want it to be the biggest gathering of NCAA All-Americans besides the Final Four.
Right.
So the Final Four will happen in the Long Beach Pyramid.
And this will also.
And then outside, there's going to be a bunch of All-Americans out there playing grass
That's a
volleyball.
genuine question, though. But then you have other divisions, or
Absolutely,
like a more for fun
for sure.
division. Right?
So we have our men's open, which is the one that you see all over Instagram, and we're the best of the best kind of play.
And women's open.
We also have women's open. We're actually really hoping to kill on the women's open side this year, especially with our ties with the women's team here.
Right.
We know we're gonna get some really competitive players in games.
Okay.
And then on our second day, we have a reverse co-ed quads.
Okay.
And reverse
Very
co-ed,
cool.
reverse co-ed is awesome. The girls hit front row, and the guys play back row.
Okay.
And that's a huge hit for Orange County
I was
Crown.
gonna say that's where you get just the people that love. I mean, we're talking about four-man, right?
Yeah.
People that just love
It's
to
just
go
fun.
and play
Yeah.
four-man
Exactly.
or whatever. It's like that put into an actual tournament.
Then we have men's B and women's B as well, depending on how many signups we get.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking to just go for more of a fun day and just play some volleyball and you don't have a ton of experience, that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, talking about a fun day, that's really what we want this to be. I mean, we're going to have the AVP showcase. We're going to have tons of live DJs. We're going to be having a beer garden on site. We're hoping.
That's awesome.
I mean, this is going to be. I'd love to attribute it close to the Manhattan Six Man, or they have the Smack Fest. We want this to be a really competitive tournament that people are happy to come watch, but we're catering to the spectators to a good time, to a great weekend.
I'm so looking forward to it.
Sponsors in terms of what? Well, so I've been around Dane through like a lot of this.
Right.
At first, the first like month, it's like, dude, what are you on all these phone calls or meetings for? Like, goodness gracious, like what? And then I like found out that they were doing this tournament, but I haven't heard the full story, so that's why I have like some questions.
Yeah.
What are these? And we've talked about like maybe even doing a sponsorship with like Ready, or even myself of like coming and just being there, or like showing face, or selling merch, something like that at this tournament.
Right.
But what does that look like, or what can other brands or companies expect or try and do, or how can they be involved? I guess like if I were to go to Ready, because we've already kind of talked about maybe the potential of working together at this event.
Absolutely.
What does that entail?
I mean, if I were to give a sponsor pitch right now, I mean, we're really happy with some very big sponsors that are stepping in already, and we definitely have room for some great opportunities. Aiden has some more exact numbers, but we have a large following on social media, with AVB Volleyball being one of our biggest collabs and sponsorships. They have over hundreds of thousands of followers on Instagram and YouTube. We have a large email list with multiple clubs willing to support us and bring their guys to our event. We know that we have huge branding opportunities. One of our things that we're bringing in this year is we're able to rebrand the entire court, stencil in a logo, all of the, what do you call those around the court?
Oh, like
barriers.
The
The court barriers.
Like the PVC barriers.
Right.
So if
Is
you
that one of mine?
might be Mason Briggs brand like by a court. But that just allows for an unbelievable photo opportunity.
Right.
Not only do you have the pyramid in the background on a sunny day, but you might have, some of the best players in the country playing on that court, and now it says Mason Briggs brand all over it, or whatever it needs to be. And we're really happy to bring those opportunities to this location. And
well, and you have foot traffic. Like, for all those like booths you were telling me about, for example, right? You have like, that right there alone is just like you already said.
I mean, we're
however
expecting
many people.
We're expecting more spectators than we are players.
Right? So you already have like whatever 150 teams, 50 teams or something.
We're expecting around 4,000 spectators for the whole weekend. And we're gonna have a big sponsor garden. There's gonna be food catering, everything that you could imagine for a festival like event. It's way more than the tournament. We're really happy to. Yeah, it's like a carnival.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we'll have some games.
Volleyball carnival. There you
I was
go.
thinking like
Bounce contest.
I don't know.
So,
like
guys, details for how do people get a hold of you? Is it an Instagram handle? Is it a website? What's the best way for them to sign up? What's the process?
Well, you can DM Dane or I with really any questions.
Or Mason. He might not answer.
DM either of us.
you have Mason Briggs right now, Will.
We give you our emails.
Absolutely.
DM.
And what about this? What about the sign? Isn't there a sign up a portal? Or?
So it's right here. I mean, it's too far. Give me too far away for the QR code, but that's the website at the bottom.
I got you.
Flash them.
Bad Boys Open Volleyball.
Nice up close and personal.
Bad Boys Open Volleyball.
Get Adam to focus on it.
Badboysopenvolleyball.com. Registration is open. Early bird registration is until May 21st, 26th?
21st, I believe.
Yep. And that is true.
26th.
There you go. May 26th is when early bird registration ends, and then obviously the price will go up. We're really excited to be offering this event, especially at such a beautiful venue and with such an amazing, Long Beach fan base. I'm hoping that they're all going to show out. We know we're going to have plenty of alumni that are willing to show out. It's going to be a great event, great names. There you go.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun.
It's just cool how far this has came, because Dane and I were sitting, what was it, like August, maybe September. We were just sitting there coaching a grass volleyball day for Pinnacle,
right?
The volleyball club, and we were sitting there like, why don't we just do
a tournament?
Or just how fun would it be if we did this and just brought some college guys in, and it's what it's morphed into after like meeting up with Mike Griffin at Bad Boys Open and talking with all these sponsors and seeing how a lot of people are really interested in this and what it's grown into. I never would have thought it was going to be this big. It was just going to be kind of like, let's bring some cool guys down and play grass and get some music going and maybe get like $100.
I commend you guys, and one of the things when I do the financial boot camp with these guys, I've done it with different ages and different demographics, but they're Generation Z, their age group, and a lot of people like to criticize the younger generations. I'm Generation X, but I can tell you what, I love their generation because they want to succeed, they don't make excuses, and they do the work. So they're going to do great. I know that, and that's why I love working with these guys. And so I've had nothing but good experiences. They've been incredibly respectful. They've learned. They've taught me a ton. And anyways, with Anvil Wealth, that's what we're trying to do is help people. And we're definitely we're sponsored with them, and we're looking forward to June 22nd and 23rd, right?
Mm-hmm. I was going to mention that earlier when you asked about financial goals and stuff. I got to circle back to it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Even just talking, like you and I have had the conversation, like what do we want to talk about this week or work on or whatever. And I always just bring up the fact, like even just talking through, and like we do this at home, even just talking through ideas or financial things or kind of speaking the language, you know, like financial literacy or business is its own language. Just shout out and props and thanks to having those conversations.
Well, that's mentoring. Exactly. There's coaching is like the technical stuff. Like here's how to get a mortgage at 3.5%, right? Or how to invest a Roth IRA. That's the nuts and bolts. You could probably find that anywhere on the internet or on YouTube or TikTok, whatever. But the mentoring part is the part because when I teach you guys, I actually learn something in return. Yeah. So it's a win-win for everyone. Yeah. And it's funny because their generation, they don't have hang-ups. When I talk to them about money, they're not scared, they're not embarrassed. When I talk to other people who haven't made right decisions, I'm not trying to punish them. I'm trying to say this is wrong and this is right. Here's what you got to do. But a lot of people they're not comfortable talking about it because they're embarrassed. And I'm like, I've made mistakes too. I'm not embarrassed. Look where we are now, you know? And I'm trying to help people get there. So I'm glad you guys enjoy it. And I only want to see you guys get to the level where I'm at a lot younger than I had to at my age. So looking forward to the tournament. Anything else you guys want to add for the podcast today?
Well, I mean, one more thing about the tournament, the back burner. I mean, this is year 1 that Dane and I are involved, year 3 of this tournament. And on the back burner, we would like to take this tournament nationwide and potentially out of the country as well. We're talking to some people in Toronto to maybe get a tournament in Canada.
Okay.
And then we're looking at helping out in a tournament in Colorado. And Texas is an option for us as well as looking at places on the East Coast. Like, we would like to make this kind of, not like the AVP, because the AVP is going to have way more tour stops, but we would like to make a couple stops, and then the end goal is to have a championship series in Vegas. Wow. So like you qualify at one of these like smaller regional tournaments, and then you come and play. Hopefully they're not small.
Not small, but no, but you guys, you're on the right track, and putting my mentor hat back on. Keep going with it because you guys are doing the right thing. Anything that I can do to help, you know, I'm there. Not only sponsorship but mentoring or any of the financial questions, I'm happy to help. But I think you're doing great, and just keep going because you're going the right path. So just keep doing it, right?
Yeah, thanks, Marcel.
So
speaking of Pinnacle Volleyball Club, one thing that we haven't mentioned yet that we're really happy to offer this year is we have an official juniors bracket, and that'll be on Sunday. All 3 of us has coached and played at volleyball clubs in Southern California. And we're really happy to be offering this. It's going to be super competitive.
What age is it?
I believe we have a 16s and an 18s division. Okay. But we're not capping anybody below 18 years old. If you're a killer 15-year-old and you want to go compete,
tear it up.
Go Dane Hillis was.
And this is a club or this is a tournament?
No, this is also.
This is the Orange County Ground. This is on Sunday, June 23rd.
Got it.
It's for just juniors only.
It's on our registration page. But I just know that. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people watching here are even playing club level right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's the type of thing that's kind of what I was trying to ask earlier. Is do like a recap of like what's offered so that people know.
Yeah, what are the divisions?
Men's, women's.
So we have men's open, women's open, men's A, and men's B, depending on registration. Men's or women's A, women's B, depending on registration.
And then
we have reverse co-ed.
Reverse co-ed.
Juniors. And then
there you go. And then we're gonna have our AVP showcase. Wow. And then throughout the day, we're gonna have our live DJs, our food vendors, probably a few different contests, maybe some raffles. We just want to keep everybody entertained, having a great time. It's a volleyball festival. I mean, it's one of the first, the volleyball carnival.
I think it's great.
It's gonna be a great time. We're just really happy to get a lot of competitive volleyball played on the same space and be able to hold, you know, a huge amount of spectators where everybody can mosey around, see their favorite players, take pictures with guys like Mason.
All right.
You know, we're gonna have
pyramid in the background too. It's great. It is great. Also, one thing we didn't touch on too, we touched on the prize pool for Open. So that money that we talked about is just for Open. So for all the other divisions, we have amazing sponsors that have came in and that promised to help, like Asics and Victory Insoles and Slunks.
The Orange County Crown Slunks are back.
Yes,
everybody be
revamping
prepped. Those are going to be big.
All right.
But instead of having cash for those divisions, we're going to have these awesome, like, curated prize packages with
Amazing Briggs brand
with awesome gear.
Oh, great.
So for juniors, for sure. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Amazing Briggs brand Orange
So-
County Crown card.
It'll be good. It'll be good.
That's big.
So AVP backpacks, we have those as well.
Nice.
So
Okay.
we're still building that.
Good.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys that I forgot, or anything else you want to add?
Just really appreciate you having us today.
Awesome.
We're hoping to do some more.
Love you guys, man.
Thanks, man.
Love you
You've
guys.
been a great mentor
Yeah.
for us,
We'll do-
and we're really excited to have this event here.
Yeah, we'll do another podcast. We'll do some on video or on StreamYard. We may do another live one next.